con ustedes nada más y nada menos que Sal Acosta, mejor conocido como The Massive. Hello, Sal, how are you?
Doing all right.
Back
you?
at home?
Yeah.
Back at the roots?
It's been a while.
A little bit changed?
A lot's changed. Well,
Yes, sir.
to you it might be a little bit, but to me it's been a lot. So it's un cambio, algo grande, algo. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Aquí no estaba nada de esto cuando yo estaba aquí en esta escuela.
When was the last time you stepped foot here,
2008, 9. Hicimos una función aquí. Hicimos una función para los equipos de los luchadores, del wrestling team de high school, de la BUI. Teníamos aquí Místico, Magno, Joy Ryan, Jimmy Tornero, yo, Huracán Héctor. Era una función muy grande. Y casi, yo creo que le dimos. The wrestling team raised about maybe 2,500 that show by itself.
Wow,
They made
back
2,500.
then.
Yeah, and that was tough to do back then. But the community came together, and I can proudly say that I was the first one to get into the schools. Now everybody's doing it.
So let's talk, Sal. Let's talk a little bit about your history as here, your high school years in Bowie High School, your wrestling years.
Right.
How did you start it?
Créanmelo, pero believe it or not, I was bullied a lot. I was the kid that would get picked on. I was the kid that everybody, you're too fat, you have big ears, you're too slow, you're too dumb. Y eso me afectó mucho en esos años. Cuando todos te quieren decir que estás muy gordo, que tienes las orejas muy grandes, o no puedes correr, no puedes hacer nada, te afecta como niño, ¿me entiendes? Y eso me afectó, pero adentro, there was something inside of me that just kept boiling and boiling and boiling. And I knew that one day it was just going to overflow. And thank God, it never overflowed here in high school. I think it affected me more in my everyday life, en mi vida día a día. Me afectó mucho porque hice unas cosas que yo pensaba que era bien para, ¿cómo quiero decir? To make me feel better,
Exactly.
to make myself feel better, to make myself feel like, you know what, that I'm doing the right things my way. And it wasn't. It was something that I had to learn. But high school was para mí era duro. Cuando estás tan grande como yo y todos los demás tan chiquitos de aquí, pues tú sabes que los mexicanos casi no crecen. Yo quiero decir, pues, I was abnormal back then. I was about 6'6". I was 6'2" in high school, is the height I am now. I was probably the tallest kid in my class in the football team. So everybody expects you to just dominate. They put a lot of pressure on you. Te quieren poner mucha presión que tú puedes hacer todo, todos estamos detrás de ti, tú vas a hacer todo. Y era mucha presión para mí, porque yo no era ese tipo de jugador. I wasn't that type of player. I was a very finesse player, a player that was on speed. I was very agile for my size back then, and it wasn't a bully. My game wasn't in a physical game. It was in a finesse game. So when you hear the guys say, "Ándale, si yo tenía tu cuerpo," las cosas que yo hacía, and I would be like, "Well, what would you do if you had my size?" You can never put yourself in somebody else's shoes unless you walk a mile in your shoes. So I mean, my high school years were rough. They were rough. My senior year, I had a blast. I wasn't gonna play football my senior year.
What class are you, Sal?
98.
98.
I'm old.
I was gonna say class of 1997 acá, but no, I remember he was a year after.
Yeah, I was in the better class.
Whatever, but
I
okay.
So, my senior year, I wasn't gonna play football, and I have to credit Coach Reveles, who was a good football coach here. He made a lot of men out of us, a lot of men. Y él me dijo, no vives tu vida pensando que si fueras a hacer esto, que si fueras, if you would have, don't live your life what if. Don't live your life what if I would have played, or what if I would have done this, what if I would have done that. Always live your life to the fullest and try everything. So con eso jugué mi último año aquí. Hice muy bien. A lot of colleges started calling, they started writing to me, asking me to go to their college. A lot of them offered me partial scholarships. A lot of Division I's offered me partial scholarships. It wasn't a full ride. And at that time, my family wasn't in the best of hands financially, like most of us here. You know, I lived in a lower class neighborhood where it was very rare that we had nice shoes or something nice. My grandparents busted their butt to do what they needed to do to make us look nice, and for that I'm very grateful. So it taught me the meaning of hard work. I took a scholarship to New Mexico Highlands. I came back. I had an injury. And I came back. They gave me a full ride. I came back after an injury. I was about to go back. I got a call from the coach saying they were going to suspend my scholarship. They were not. They were going to forego my scholarship due to the fact that I was injured because in college you're a piece of meat, and my football career in college was basically done. And I saw a commercial on TV to become a professional wrestler, and the rest is history. You know, it's, as you say, it's history. But high school is fun, man. You know, despite all the bullying, I had a love life in high school. You know, kept me grounded, kept me, my eyes on the prize. But it was fun. It was fun. It was fun. It was man.
How does it feel, Sal, for you to 25, almost 22, 23 years ago, 20 years ago, 20 years ago, to come back and look in the past and say, God, I was the biggest one out there. I was the heavy one out there. I was bullied. I was, like you said, our parents, our past is Payless Shoes was the best back then. It was nothing else.
Or the Continental downtown.
Exactly. And
that was the place to go.
And we were going to look sharp. We were going to look clean. And it wasn't about style. It wasn't about the Jordans. It wasn't about who had the money for what.
No, back then it was about suede shoes. That was the suede shoes.
K-Swiss.
Yeah, the K-Swiss. There you go.
So how does it feel that, you've done so much, Sal? I mean, now you've left El Paso. Now your name's out there and they talk about the Massive, and a lot of people are like, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
How does it feel to look back and say, salí de ahí? Salí.
It's a blessing. Out of everything that I've been through, the drug addiction, the avenues and the choices that I made when I was younger, all led back to my teachings here at the school. They led back to las cosas que aprendí aquí de vida, a vivir. We were taught to fight, but then again to have compassion for other people. And I feel like the situation here at the high school wasn't the best for me, but it taught me to, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person that's bullying somebody else. I don't want to be that person that is treating somebody else like this. So it taught me how to have compassion for people. It took me a while to learn it, but it gave me a sense of, you got to have compassion for people. And I tell this story all the time with my grandfather. And if I get emotional about my grandfather, forgive me. But we were walking out of McDonald's. I was about 6 years old, and there was a man sitting outside without a shirt, hungry, asking for money for food. We walk out. My grandpa takes his shirt off his back, gives it to him, takes the shoes off his feet and gives it to him. He tells me, go inside, get this man 3 meals. So when we walk out and walk into the car, I go, why did you do that? He's all, because there's people in this world that need more than what you have. There's always somebody in life that has it worse than what you have, no matter what. And for me, that stuck with me. So I feel like now I try to live my grandpa's life in that aspect, helping people out. Even if they're less fortunate, helping them out. Get them on the right track, and whatever they do from there is up to them. So that's the way I want to live life now. A good person, giving back, and not so much taking everything for granted like I used to. My wrestling career in the beginning, I was very blessed to be trained by the Guerreros, be trained by Hurricane Hector, who was taught by Gory himself here in El Paso. And it was a blessing to get taught by those gentlemen. And in East Texas, those men are idolized. They're like, what was it like learning from Chavo? What was it like learning from Eddie? What was it like learning from Hector? And it was like, you just can't put those experiences into words, because they were hard experiences. I mean, these guys, their work ethic was second to none. They taught me how to go hard every day. Whether your body's hurting or not, you're going to get in that ring and you're going to do your best, And I think that's where my stubbornness comes in when I'm hurt, because I'm just like, I need to get back in the ring, because it's not just about me. It's about the people that pay a ticket to watch me wrestle,
Exactly.
You got to get back to the fans. It's something bigger than you. And if you don't give back, that's when you can lose everything, So high school was fun. We graduated, went to college, became course, started training, and training was an experience. I'll never forget it because I went to training. The next day, I rolled out of bed. There's no getting up out of bed. I rolled. I basically fell out of bed because I had muscles in my body that I didn't know I had that hurt. So I was like, Jesus Christ, I really want to do this. Like, it was like, do I want to do this? But there was just something in my mind that said, yeah, I want to do it. You know, from seeing the wrestling matches from the Coliseum to watching Hulk Hogan body slam onto the Giant, WrestleMania 3, 1985, Pontiac Silverdome. You don't forget those things, you know. I've always wanted to be an entertainer in some aspect or another. And that's really why I became a wrestler, you know.
You touch a couple of good subjects, Sal. El Paso, Hector, Hurricane Hector, the Guerreros. We can name so many names out there that, you know, are now out there. They're known.
Yeah.
What do you feel when you look back and you say, okay, I know El Paso is full of talent. I know you were mentioning about doing your luchas here, about promoting luchas. And you mentioned a few of wrestlers that are still wrestling, that are still here. And that you look back and you say, he shouldn't be there. You know, he should have made it big. He should have become, you know, one of them, one of the known ones.
Yeah.
You know, how does it feel? What do you think? What's missing? What's missing in El Paso?
It's frustrating because I think it's just lack of confidence within themselves. And I think, again, going back to what I learned here, being bullied, being, you know, judged for my size, for the way I was, all that taught me how to just let the words bounce off and take risk in life. You know, it taught me how to take risk in life. And if it doesn't happen, then you know what? I've been broke for the majority of my life. It's not going to hurt if I come back and fail. So it just taught me those things. And I look at these guys and I call them and I tell them, hey, man, come out here, bro. I'll help you. Just come out here and I'll get you a couple matches, you know. And their first word out of their mouth is, that's the first thing I don't know, is like hesitation.
Exactly.
Difference, okay? Both men are trying to get to the top. The only difference is the man that's successful is going to get knocked down. He's going to get back up. The one that doesn't succeed is the one that's going to stay knocked down. And that's what the reason why I get frustrated with these guys. You know, and a lot of people I put on Facebook and YouTube, I put the match between me and Hurricane Hector in San Antonio.
Exactly.
That was the best match of the night. The promoter even told me so himself, and I have the text messages. He says that, you know, that was the best match of the night. And it's not about being the best match. It's about being from El Paso and having the best match in another city, in another state. That's what makes me proud, is putting El Paso on the map, El Paso wrestling on the map, and saying, you know what, you're not the only ones that have talent. We got talent too. But I need the talent in El Paso to step out of their shell and be willing to go. Uziel went with me. Amazona went with me. And I'll mark my words. Thunder Rosa's words last night, we were having dinner. The words out of her mouth was, Amazona is fucking good. Those were the words out of Thunder Rosa's mouth. That Thunder Rosa had to keep up with Amazona. If that doesn't tell you something about the talent in El Paso, I don't know what will. Those are the words out of somebody that's Lucha Underground. That's the word somebody that I work out with, or I train with every day. And I know the work ethic she does. So imagine her saying those words about Amazona and El Paso product. I mean, come on. You know, Uziel, he's learning. He has to learn the American style. And I believe that if he keeps doing what he's doing, he keeps going over there, he's going to be successful too. Because it's all about work ethic. You know, you can get beat up, you get bruised, but you still got to keep going the next day. You got to get up. It's funny because me and my wife, we tease each other every morning, you know, whether we're going to go to the gym or not. You know, she gets up before me sometimes. She's like, come on, you're going to be a lion, you're going to be a gazelle. I'm like, damn it, really? Like, I created a monster.
Yep.
But I love that woman because without her, I would not be where I'm at today. You know? So, yeah, there's a lot of talent here. You guys got to be willing to take the risks. No tengan miedo para ir para allá, para salir. Yo tengo conexiones ya que yo hice por el trabajo que yo puse allá y lo puedo programar allá, pero tienen que poner, ellos no tienen que tener miedo que poner trabajo allá. ¿Me entiendes? Don't be afraid to put the work in, because that's how you learn. You know, that's how you learn. You know, and Hector will tell you the same thing. Hector, I tell everybody, go to Hector if you're going to learn American style, because he knows American style other than Lucha. You know, and it's just a lot of people are afraid. They're hesitant. Magno could have made it. Magno went to NXT. He came back. Why? I don't know. I don't know the specifics. But that goes to show you the talent that we have here. If Magno got signed to NXT, I mean, really, there's guys here that can out-wrestle anybody in the WWE here.
Sin
Anybody.
Cara, Guerreros,
Exactly. Everybody could out wrestle. The guys here cannot wrestle anybody in East Texas. I'll tell you that. Move for move, they cannot wrestle anybody in East Texas. But they gotta be willing to take the risk and going over there. It's a beast. But I tell you what, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you're working 3 days out of the weekend. Because there's matches up and down I-35. And you're never gonna be without work. And that's how I've been able to survive over there, because in the beginning when we moved to Austin, it was estaba duro, you know. Mi y mi esposa nomás metimos en un carro con nada, nomás ropa. Ella tenía trabajo allá, yo nomás empecé a luchar otra vez y vivimos bien.
Now that you're talking about wrestling, about the money, about El Paso talent, we have encountered a lot of times that the guys say, I'm not gonna go and no voy a ir a regalar mi trabajo. I'm sure you've heard it, I've heard it, we've, you know, the people in este ambiente lo ha ido hearsay or has heard it, you know, talking about it. What's with that, Sal? What's the whole habit of going to, oh, I'm going to San Antonio, I'm going to Austin, and I'm gonna charge $100 a match?
You know what? I'm gonna end that right now, because this woman that's been by my side, my wife, I would leave Friday morning, wrestle Friday night, $25. Wrestle Saturday night, maybe $50. Wrestle Sunday night, $50. Drive back from San Antonio to El Paso to be back to go to work at 7 o'clock in the morning with my family in the car. That's what I'm talking about, the grind. You gotta be willing to grind. And all you guys are thinking that you need $100 to make, no. Get a car full of guys, go. I'll pitch in for gas. Think of it as an investment in your career. That's basically the way I saw it. I'm investing this time and this money and this time with my family to better further my career. The money is going to come later on. And you just don't make money off of wrestling. You can make your merchandise. You can make your t-shirts. You can make lanyards. You can make baseball cards. You can do so many things to earn money in the wrestling business, but you got to be willing to invest in yourself. I call it an investment in your career. Those $25 are going to turn to $100. They're going to turn to $200. But you got to be willing to put in the work in order to get there. Going over there and saying, I want $100 a match, it's not going to get you booked. I'll tell you that much right now. It's not going to get you booked. You want to know how much Uziel went over there for? And all you guys, and if you guys give him shit and I find out, then I'll basically fuck you up myself.
Because that ain't cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna fuck somebody up because that man, he wants it and he wants to learn. He got paid $30 to go to San Antonio. And why? Because he wants it. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. You got to put your egos out the door and put in the work. Deja las mamadas, ya. Si quieren hacer el trabajo, pongan el trabajo y váyanse para allá. Hay mucho más países que nomás El Paso. Para que aprendan a usar los estilos americanos. Porque cuando mixean el estilo americano con el estilo lucha, es una cosa bien bonita. Because you're mixing two styles into one. And they don't see that shit very often over there. When you do both, trust me, you'll be getting paid a lot more. Because you could do two styles more than one. And it's just sacrifice. That's one of the things you have to do in this business, sacrifice. And God knows that I've sacrificed a lot, you know, to do what I do now. So.
A lot of us have seen it. As a promoter, Sal, you were saying you did luchas here in Bowie. Yeah. I remember that one. Yeah. Sold out completely.
Yeah.
Nothing but local guys.
And you know whose idea that was?
Whose idea?
Again, it was my wife's. She would tell me, she's like, you know what, you need to go, why are you going to go wrestle for them when you can do shows yourself? And you can be, and make the same amount of money that you make over there, but double it here by running the show. And booking the great talent and putting on a great show.
Es un ambiente de hombres, pero las mujeres también sabemos de negocios, muchachos.
Yeah, she knows the business. I don't give her a lot because I don't want her head to get this big. But without her,
be careful, Sal. You're driving back with her.
No, I make her taste my drinks before I take her to the so that way I know there's nothing in them. But no, that woman she's my life. Without her, I don't know where I'd be. I mean, through everything that we've been through, fuck. To living here, to, you know, getting kicked out of the house, sleeping on the sofa, sleeping outside, because I made her so mad. But to come back to the person to leave the person behind and be the person I am now. I mean, for God's sake, for a year, Every year for 12 years, I would ask that woman to marry me. She would tell me, "You're not ready. You're not ready." I was like, "Well, what the fuck do I need to do? Running around outside naked? Like, what? What do you want me to do? You know?" So this year, it was funny because I was getting out of work. I get in the car. She tells me, "I have a gift for you." I'm like, "God." She's like, "No, I have something to tell you." I'm like, "Oh, she bought something." Like,
she bought something over $1,000.
Yeah. So I'm like, "Okay." So she hands me a box, and she says, "Now will you marry me?" You know what? I was like, yeah, but what I should have told her was like, "No, you're not ready."
Oh, really? Yeah. You were gonna say that. Speaking of egos.
But I mean, she's my life. Without her, I'm nothing, and that's why we're gonna get married. Because without her, I mean, she sees what I go through. She sees my pain every morning. She says, "Why don't you stop?" And I'm like, "I just can't. Wrestling's my love." And I told her, "I will leave you for wrestling." I told her straight out, and she knows that. She knows that wrestling's number one, and then it's my dog, and then it's my son, and then it's her. But she knows that deep down inside, she's my number one. So it's it is what it is. But without her, there's no massive. So
for all of you guys that do not go out there and say no por mi familia, we understand. We all understand. Pero hay mujeres que se quedan con ustedes a través de años, a través de fracturas, a través de caídas. Take care of that. Take them with you. Be a part of that. Because they can stay with you throughout the whole way. And not only that, they will make you big. They will. So just keep your focus, guys. Keep your priorities.
But still, I'm the man of the house. I'm the man of the house. There ain't nothing about it. I say what I say goes.
Hear it from him. Look at the size, and he's still saying it.
What I say goes. That's what I think. What I say goes.
But it's nice how to see you here. It's nice to have you back here in the past. So and it's nice that you can mention so many names that are still around, and that we can say, hey, all of you guys can make it out there, and hopefully coming from you, they'll listen.
I hope so.
They'll listen a little bit
because there's a lot of talent. I mean,
exactly.
That's something that I've told you when we talked over the phone. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talent, and there's a lot of talent that I'm willing to help. But don't make me out to be an idiot. If I'm willing to put my name on the line, a name that I've worked so hard to put a good product out there. I mean, if I'm gonna help you, help me by just keeping my name good. That's all I ask. I'll do what I can to help anybody from El Paso. That's where my love is at. This is where I grew up, and I believe there's so much talent here. Even not so much in wrestling, football, basketball. I mean, these high school athletes here are unbelievable. But why don't they go out? Because they don't have exposure. And that's just something that we need to break as El Pasoans. We need to come together and put all our egos aside. The city needs to get their shit together and start helping these youth. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I left, because there's no help here from anybody. You have to help yourself. And unfortunately, all the bureaucrats in the city, the officials, to me, they're just all corrupt. That's what I think. The law's corrupt. It's just the way that I think. And I mean, there's facts to support that, but they need to get their shit together. Honestly, El Paso needs to get their shit together, because we have a beautiful town here. We have a beautiful city. We make the city. And if we don't pull together, then what are we saying? We're shitting on the city. Don't do that. This is a place you grew up in. A lot of people that leave here want to come back. They want to come back because they love El Paso.
Yep.
You'll be surprised how many people I run into Austin that say they're from El Paso.
Exactly.
It's a lot of people. Yeah. So I mean, quit the nepotism. Quit all that bullshit that if you don't know nobody, you don't get hired. No. I'm a convicted felon. 30 days I got a job in Austin. Here it was impossible. So look past the person, look past the paper, and look at the person. So.
The change will start with you guys. It's not only about making $100 a match. To all those officials that I'm sure we're gonna see some out there, because people know Hector and people know me and people know you, and there's gonna be a coach out there saying, no, that's my boy. So those of you guys, especially coming from the ghetto, what everybody likes to call La Bui, donde matan.
No, well, you know what? The ghetto,
se roban,
the ghetto, I wouldn't change it for the world, because you know what? The ghetto's probably more together than anywhere else in El Paso. Here, you can go knock on a neighbor's house, and if you need something, they'll be more than happy to give it to you. Because here it's familia. Down here it's familia. All those rich, bougie neighborhoods here in El Paso, y'all suck, to be honest with you, because there's no togetherness. There's no familia. Down here is where the real familia's at. Somebody goes down, we're all there to help. So all you West Siders that are, have your nose up in the air, all the East Siders that, think that your shit don't stink. I'm sorry, but fuck you guys, honestly, because honestly, down here is where it's at. Segundo barrio, where my heart is, that's where it's always gonna be, because here we're here to help each other out no matter what. This school, when they say you're once a bear, once a bear, always a bear, it's a fact. I have a friend, JJ, I hope you're watching this. JJ Saliva, he played football with me. His son's going through a lot, We need to help that little boy overcome his sickness. And the way we can do that is by donating, doing fundraising for that little kid, It's just no kids should suffer, no family should suffer. It's humbling to come back and, see people helping each other out, which is a nice thing. Because the way this world is going is it's not going good,
Exactly.
So just think about what would Jesus do.
There's two types of people in El Paso. Those that went to Boy and those that wished they had been. That's it. Mismo día, diferente lugar. You've been to a lot of cities. Now that Facebook is out there and the social media is out there, now we can know, of a lot of places you've been. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, this right here. This is something that, I was maybe about a year, 2 years down the road. Honestly, when I began wrestling, literally, my first match was in October. I was 3 months out of prison. We actually went to Austin to handle other business. I called the promoter. He gave me a shot, and when I got back in the ring, that's where I knew that's where I needed to be, because that was where I was the happiest. So I beat Masada for this belt. Masada is a very well-known extremo. Es un luchador extremo.
Yep.
Lucha mucho en México, Japón. Hace muchas luchas de los combates, botellas, barbed wire. He does everything. So when they told me I was going to wrestle Masada, I knew I had a tough task ahead of me. It was one where I had to get mentally prepared for, not only physically but mentally, because that type of match is a very grueling match. It takes a lot out of you. They say that you lose 2 or 3 years of your wrestling career because of matches like that. I'm not gonna lie, that match was one of the toughest I've ever had in my career. I bled a lot, and I bled a lot. I have pictures, and maybe I can, we'll send them to you. But I have pictures where I'm just literally bleeding, and it's ugly. And I have a picture where it's funny because I have a picture where I'm talking with the belt. When I won the belt, I'm talking into the ring, and there's a picture of my wife in the background with an angry look on her face, like literally she wanted to kill Masada herself. I
was about to ask you, ¿qué dice tu wife when you get home to that?
Well, when she knew
when
that I was,
she sees you in the ring, así todo golpeado.
When I told her I was wrestling Masada, she was like, "Oh no, is it gonna be that type of match?" And I go, "You never know. I go, anything goes." So that night I defeated Masada. It was a surprise to me. I didn't know it was coming, and when I got the belt in my hand, it just felt like. It felt normal. I've had titles before, but being away from wrestling for so long and then coming back in literally my 5th month back into wrestling, and this falls into my hands, it's just, it feels like it belonged there the whole time. It should have never left my body. And wrestlers that I wrestled after that, I've wrestled Brett McKenzie. He brought it. We've had matches over and over again. We have a feud right now going with him. I actually got him suspended because I'm smart and not stupid. So he's gone for a couple of months. So I get to relax. Where I thought I could relax, and then I wrestled Hurricane Hector.
I was about to say, or you thought so.
Yeah. So the promoter went to great lengths. He booked Hurricane Hector thinking that he could, basically put me in my place. And I'll tell you something about Hector. Hector and I have had a lot of matches, and I've never beaten Hector. Never beaten him, so I was worried. I've never beaten Hector one-on-one. He's always had the better of me. And it was funny because, I text Hector and I told him, I've never beaten you before, but this is going to be the first time. So he texts me back, well, that's what you think, young lad, because I'm still going to kick your ass. I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is not going to go well. I was like dreading the match, and that match ended up being the best match of the night. that's for Branded Outlaw Wrestling. It's one of the big promotions in San Antonio, Austin area. A lot of big names wrestled for that. Mecca Wolf wrestled for that promotion. Who else? Let me see. Mecca Wolf was there. Cortez, Ricky Reyes has wrestled for that promotion. Showtime Scott Summers has wrestled for that. Of course, Masada. There's just a lot of guys that have been there that have been around the business for a long time, and I'm just grateful enough to share a locker room with those individuals. One man, Mike Dell, who does the Pepsi commercial. You know the Pepsi commercial with the first halftime?
Yep.
He was in that commercial. It's a lot of gifted individuals that are in that locker room that it's a pleasure to lead that locker room right now, because a lot of them, when you're the champion, they give you that respect, and that's the respect that I'm talking about that you don't get here. When you're a champion here, they think of you're a kiss ass, or what did you do to what did you do to the promoter? Yeah, another you're kissing somebody's ass.
Exactly.
Over there, when you're a champion, and they give you their respect. They call you champ. They say, "This is how you doing, champ? What's going on, champ?" You lead the locker room, and basically your actions, and basically this is what goes back to Hector taught me. Your actions are what's going to lead, and so I've always believed that, because Hector is the one that instilled that in me. Is that your actions speak louder than words. So I wrestled Hurricane Hector. Next month I'm wrestling Alberto Del Rio's ring announcer, which is Ricardo Rodriguez. August 12th, I'm wrestling that man. Chavo Jr.'s on that card, so it's going to be a very special show for me, because Chavo's there. San Antonio, Texas. It's at the Quartermains Pub.
Road trip.
Right? Yeah. And it's going to be a special night. It's going to be an awesome night. It's going to be an awesome night, because I'm going to have to bring my best. I mean, that man's been to WrestleMania. He's been WWE pay-per-views. You just don't know, what he's going to bring to the table, because he's such a great wrestler. Other promotions, Inspire Pro Wrestling. I don't know if you guys have heard of that promotion. It's one of the big promotions here. I wrestled Matthew Palmer, who's married to Ember Moon in WWE. Last match I wrestled with Danny Ramones. It was me, Danny Ramones, and Gino, the Latin heartthrob who wrestles out of ROW. It was a three-way tag team. So I've had matches with very significant people in this business, and I've had matches with people that are barely starting. I believe in giving back and helping the younger generation of wrestlers excel, because you got to leave something for the young guys to look up to and something to look forward to. Because really, you're only going to wrestle, the lifespan for wrestlers, 15, 20 years, if that, maybe that. My body's hurting more than ever, but I'm sticking it out. And Inspire Pro, I wrestled for AAPW, which is on Twitch. All those matches you can find on Heel Face Wrestling, Twitch. They have their own channels. Inspire is on Heel Face Wrestling. You got Twitch, and you also have BOW, who's on Amazon. I was surprised when I saw myself on Amazon Prime. I was like, what the fuck is this? My hands raised. I'm like, I'm on Amazon Prime. I was like, okay, so where's my residual check? No, I ain't getting one. Like, what the fuck, So it was an experience to see myself on Amazon Prime. It was a blessing. I sent it to my son. Well, my son's the one that actually alerted me, Dad, you're on Amazon. I was like, get out of here. He's like, yeah, you're on Amazon. He sent me the picture. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, cool. So my son's the one that actually alerted me that I was on Amazon Prime. So a lot of those promotions I owe a lot to, because they're getting me out there. And I've gotten so many friend requests on Facebook. It's been a blessing. All of you, I will try to add everybody. I promise you that I will try to add everybody. It's just, I got my own little, I call it antivirus wifeware, because my wife is the one that's going, who's that? Who are you going to add? And you have to add everybody. Especially females, if you're going to be my friend request, just get my wife's permission first, because I don't want to have to go through that shit, It's a lot of explaining. I don't mean to be rude. Yeah, it's a lot of explaining. I want to sleep in my bed, not on the sofa, not on the floor. So please ask the wife. It's Grace Castro, please.
Right?
Yeah, so she's the one with the...
Lo bueno es que él manda en casa.
Yeah.
So that's what he said 5 minutes ago.
So yeah, a lot of those promotions have given me the opportunity, and obviously I feel like I've done well, so they keep bringing me back, and I keep getting work. TWA, who Rudy Boy Gonzalez is also a promoter of, he's actually starting to book me on a lot more matches too. So when I thought when I got older that my bookings were going to dwindle, now they're picking up. It's a weird business. It's a weird thing, but it's a blessing, and I take every opportunity to very seriously. Last night I wrestled in Corpus at GCWA with James Ellsworth. Thunder Rosa was on the card. The Horde, Ricky Starks. I mean, The list goes on and on, and it's just a blessing. It's a blessing. The drive was hell. I fell asleep. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, she fell asleep too. But, you know, but it's a blessing and it's an honor, and I couldn't have done it without my wife. I mean, the spray tanning. She hates doing it, but she's got to rub on the sexy body. I mean, you know, I gotta look good in the ring. She hates it, but she does it. But she acts like she doesn't like it, but she likes it. You
she
know,
just loves you.
Because it could lead to other things. You know, just saying. You know, but she's an amazing woman, and I mean, she's put up with a lot. But I think it hurts her more to see me the way I walk after matches than anything else. But that's just love, you know. But I'm not gonna stop doing what I'm doing. So get that through your head, woman. All right.
And I can say it hurts us more than it hurts you guys. I can say it. Yes, sir. I can say it. So we were talking earlier. You mentioned a couple of times while you were sitting in prison cell. Did you ever see this day coming?
No. And
how many years did you serve?
You want to know the funny thing? 5 years to the day that I got arrested is the day that I'm coming back to El Paso. June 24th, 2013. I got arrested here. I did my prison time. I got out. So 5 years to the day tomorrow, when I wrestle for Andalina Championship Wrestling, is my return to El Paso. And I didn't think about it until I was like during the week, and I was thinking about when I got arrested to now, because a lot of people would be like, look what you're doing now, per se what you were doing before. Now you left all the drugs, all the addictions, and look where you're at now. You're doing more than what you did when you were wrestling before. And it's the truth. And it put that in perspective. So I thought, when did I get arrested? So that's when everything fell into place. I was like, holy shit. Like,
life.
Yeah, it's full circle. I'm coming home.
Yep.
The promoter, when he booked me, he asked me, so how long has it been since you wrestled in El Paso? It's been since 2010, 2009. Yeah, one of those years. I have not wrestled in El Paso ring. And the amount of support that I'm receiving, not only from Facebook, but from what the promoters told me, that ticket sales are out of control right now. And I'm just like, wow. And I thank El Paso. Prison was tough. I'll never forget, I got pulled over. I knew I was going to jail. I just didn't know for how long. A lot of people can say whatever they want to say why I went to prison, but I'm going to say why I went to prison. I had a bad addiction to pain pills. At that time in 2011, 2012, I hurt my back in a wrestling match with Nathan Sin. Fuck you, Nathan, but I still love you. But it was a simple move, a move that I've done a million times. It was at a school function. We were doing a fundraiser for a school. I go to take a spine buster. I take the move. I feel something in my back slip. He goes to pin me. He lifts my leg, and that's when I feel the pop. So when I felt that, I knew something was immediately wrong. So when I stand up, I had to walk like this to the side. So I was in the ring, and everybody was telling me to go home. I'm the type of person that we're going to finish the match. So I went another 5-7 minutes, the max. And I rolled out of the ring. I crawled to the back because I couldn't walk. Go to the chiropractor 3 days later. He tells me it's not a disc, it's a nerve. I mean, it's not an adjustment, it's a disc. You're going to have to go get checked. So apparently, when they did the MRI, my L3, L4, and L5, my L3 and L4 were bulging. L5, S1, and S2 were completely ruptured. They told me that I couldn't wrestle anymore, that if I took one more bad hit or I took one more bad bump, that I could be paralyzed for the rest of my life. And it hits you, it fucks with you. It gets you in your head because you want to be able to play with your kid. You want to be able to do things with your wife. You want to be able to do things with your family. And my wife will tell you I cried, and I cried, and I cried because wrestling is my life. At that time, I was doing it full time. And that's when the pain pill started. Doctor says, you're going to feel pain like you never felt before. I'm going to give you some strong pain medication. Take it wisely. Do not overdo it. So I started taking one, like I was surprised. Then I started taking 2. Started taking 5. I got up to 25 pills a day at a time.
Wow.
I was chewing the hydrocodone 10s like they were candy. It got to the point to where my wife told me at one time, I don't know if you're going to wake up. I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't want to be a part of this. She left me. I kept on doing my things. Eventually, I got investigated by the DEA. I thought I could outsmart them. I couldn't. I kept doing what I was doing, and then I got arrested. I got arrested with 54 counts of prescription fraud. By the time I went to grand jury, I came back with 17 counts. They dropped 40 of them. I knew that was God watching over me, because if I would have spent my life in prison, I probably would have killed myself, to be honest with you, because I could not do that. I don't know how these guys go in and out of prison constantly, but that's not some place where I want to return. Bottom line, it's not some place where I want to go back to. So for 4.5 years, I sat in prison. The first 2, my wife did not talk to me. I called her from the bonding phone here at the county jail, and I'll never forget the words she told me, because she's all, first of all, she's like, where's Chewy, which is our Yorkie? She's like, where's my dog? And I'm like, I don't know, they took him. She asked me about the dog first, so I knew she was pissed off, which of course was, logical. She tells me, then proceeds to tell me, I can't do nothing for you. Don't write me. Don't call me. I'm not going to put money on your books, and I'm not going to visit you. You're on your own. You got to figure this out on your own. You got to figure out what you're going to do with your life on your own. After that, for 2 years, she did not talk to me. From that point on, 2 years later, she did not talk to me. I reached out to her 2 years later while I was in prison. We started talking. I had to show her the change that I made in myself, because that was one of the things she's always wanted me to do. She says, everything else that you've done, I put up with. It was just a criminal lifestyle that you were living I just could not do. And that stuck with me in prison. It stuck with me. I'm not going to lie, it stuck with me. So I knew I had to become a better man when I came out. And I felt that I've done that up to this point. My year in parole is going to be up next month. It's already going to be a year. I can't fucking believe that shit. It's amazing. A lot of people said I wasn't going to be able to do it. Fuck you. I'm doing it. It's what it is. I'm doing it. Not you, me. So I got released August 24th, 2017. She was there to pick me up. She brought me clothes. At first it was kind of rocky because I didn't know how to act around her. I still had prison mode in me. And I'm still adjusting to life, because prison does something to you. And when they say it does something to you, it's a fact, people, because it is a fact. Prison does change people. And it's not for the bad. It's just something that goes off in your head. So be patient with your loved ones that are coming out of prison, because they're adjusting just as much as you are. If there's any advice I can give you in that, just do that. So it leads me up to now. October, I get my first wrestling match. I start wrestling November, December. I wrestle. January comes around, I win the title. And after that, it's been a roller coaster. I don't know when, what, where, or how this amazing life was for me, but it was always there. I just needed to find it. And now it's here. I really can't say enough because of the people. I never thought I had a support system like I do now. I have friends that I talk to. Never thought that I would talk to this amazing woman here. We go
way back.
In high school, we were cool with each other. We were all right. We never disrespected each other. I remember, we could stop and talk to each other. And that was just a friendship that we had. And
so I have a picture, and I need to find it. I have a picture. God. I do. We were so young.
No, leave it in the box.
I need to find it.
She'll probably want to see it, because she'll be like, what the fuck?
And some of our friends are there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Some of those that I know are gonna be there with you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We go back.
And a lot of friends are going to the show tomorrow that I've gone. Johnny Fuentes. Nano, the ankle biter. I call him my little ankle biter because he's so fucking short. He's like a little. You ever seen the Lollipop? The Wizard of Oz. He's one of those little. He came out in that movie, in a way. He was the little midgets in that movie. So Johnny, if you're watching this, fuck you too. All right, but anyway.
Es un chaparrito. He can dunk though. He can dunk every once in a
while.
Yeah,
he dunks, but he has to step on everybody. He has to step on everybody to do it. Fuck that guy. I love that man. Me and him we went to this elementary school right here, Douglas.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's crazy coming home. It's a blessing. I love it. I never thought I would receive this warm welcome, because I was always a heel, morrudo, by heart. I live my gimmick. You can ask my wife, because at home I act like I'm a heel, but she'll give me a chair shot every once in a while. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna post this on an interview. I'm gonna send you a picture. She wore my wrestling gear. I woke up one morning. She was wearing my wrestling singlet, and she jumped on me on the bed. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She's like, "Come on, let's wrestle." And she gets up and drops an elbow on me while I'm still asleep. What kind of shit is that?
Smart.
No, that's some heel shit. I taught her well. But yeah, it's fun. It's been a ride. It's been a roller coaster, and there's still room for me to grow. I'm getting more and more bookings. I just gotta, tame the beast a little bit and do what I gotta do. Make smart choices from here on out. That's all it is. Um, I have amazing support from amazing people that I never thought I did. A lot of people saying in Austin, San Antonio, when I came back, didn't know what happened to me. A lot of them thought I was dead because I lost contact with all of them. And that's just the brotherhood that you have over there. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow's gonna be exciting. I'm nervous. I don't know what to expect or what to do.
Expect a full house.
Man.
Y
I'll probably gonna break down.
Y unas mentadas de madre y everything else.
Well, that's a
it's
given.
A paso.
It's a given, but I mean, it's just I might just
it's
break.
Your love.
I might
it's
break
the way
down.
We show love.
I know. And I'm going to school every morning, leaving this house. So everything started. I don't know. I mean, where do you want to go from there? I mean, I got so many. It's just.
We can go on and on, Sal. We can go on and on.
Like, I mean, forgive me if I get emotional, but that.
Yep.
My grandparents died when I was in prison.
Yes, sir. But they're watching over you.
Man.
And they're the ones guiding you.
I just want them to see that I'm doing good. That their baby boy's okay.
Yep.
So, I mean, I would walk from here to the railroad tracks and just take the back way out again. And it was tough. It was tough
it was
every
30
morning.
minutes.
Rain, sleet, or snow. Yeah, when it should take you 5 in a car, it took me 30 to walk.
Yeah.
But that's where I built my conditioning. Sometimes I would run to school because I wanted to be able to finish the conditioning after school. So it was crazy. But, I mean, without my grandparents, it was tough. It was tough.
Any advice, so you want to give to all those kids watching you, those teenagers watching you, those wrestlers barely starting? It's a tough life. Still a tough life.
Yeah,
now you can get to drugs so much easier than when we were growing up. So it was a lot easier.
It is, yeah.
Antes tus tíos, tus primos te metían un chingazo.
If you would try to get drugs and your family found out about it, you might as well just not even go home.
But now it's different. Now it's cool. Now it's a part of, and we look back, Sal, and you say, what the hell's happening? ¿Qué está pasando con esta vida, con este mundo? How do we go back? How do we go back to those days? And
well, we have to change ourselves. I mean, we want to change the world. We got to change ourselves.
Exactly.
So you kids that are, I mean, if you're going through something, talk to somebody. Don't hold on to it, because I did, and it created a monster that I couldn't control. This house, got me right to this house hurts. You don't want to be in a place that you can't control. We all have dreams, we all have aspirations, we all have goals. Only you stop yourself. It's like I referred earlier in the video where, saying that my wife calls me a lion or a gazelle. It's real life. A lion wakes up ready to hunt, ready to eat, ready to conquer the day. A gazelle is just trying to survive and make it to the next day. What are you going to do? Are you going to be the lion, or are you going to be a gazelle? You're going to conquer the day, or are you just going to try to survive? Because the ones that conquer the day are the ones that are successful, and the ones that just want to survive are the ones that are mediocre and stay where they're at. They're stagnant. They don't want to advance their career or advance their life. They're happy where they are, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to be great, be great. Don't be mediocre. If you're an athlete and you're playing a sport, give it your all. Go out like it's your last, because you never know when it's going to be taken from you. I learned that the hard way. Todos ustedes niños tienen una razón en esta vida. Hablo con corazón y con ánimo, porque sin eso no hay nada. Put everything you got into your day. We all have 24 hours in a day. It's what you do in those 24 hours is going to make you who you are. And I give my wife shit. Yeah. Because sometimes we all need a little push in life. She gives me the same shit. I'm on a diet. So what? I like Oreos at night. Who gives a shit? I fucking love my Oreos. So fuck all you guys that are on a diet and don't want to eat Oreos. I eat Oreos. But all seriousness aside, if you want to succeed, push, because you never know when you're going to reach your goal. It might be right smack in front of you. It might be happening to you at that moment. But when you stop and look back and say that, you know what, damn, what was I thinking? Why did I stop? That's when you become the fool. Just like my coach said, don't live your life what if. And I hold on to those words dearly. Rebeles, without you, like again, there's so many people that are responsible for making this man. Rebeles, Coach Quesada, Hurricane Hector, my grandparents. Without you, there is no man right here. I had to learn a lot of it on my own because I was stubborn and I was a fool and I thought that I could do it on my own, but I learned the hard way. And I don't want you kids to do the same. You have family members and people that care about you. Make the smart choices. Make the right decisions. Don't do what's in the now. Create your own vibe, your own aura. Make people follow you. You become the leader. Don't be the follower. Although you have to learn how to follow to become a leader. But do it the right way. Don't do it illegally. You might have to, because what I've learned, it takes twice as hard of an effort to live an honest life than to make a lot of money and leave the legal way. Because it all could be taken from you like that. I love each and every one of you. El Paso, I love you. Veronica, we've been together. We've known each other for so long that, you know, reconnecting is also, I mean, it's meant a lot to me because you lose a lot of friends along the way when you graduate from high school. Yeah. Social media is a great thing if you use it for the right reasons. And that's how we were able to reconnect, you know. And I thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to these people, to share my story, because there's so many people that are similar in my shoes that don't know what to do right now, that hopefully this gives them an avenue to better their life and to be a better person, because there's always somebody better inside of us. If you see somebody that's homeless, somebody that doesn't have any food, give them food. If they're going to use it for drugs, then that's on them. You did your part. Because you got to think about, what would Jesus do? Jesus wouldn't turn their back on them. He would try to help them, heal them, and restore them and send them on their way. And that's the type of people we need to become now, because this world's becoming an ugly place. And if we don't help one another and we don't become the Christians that we need to become, then it's all going to be for naught. I mean, believe it or not, I mean, I don't like to get biblical, but we are in the end times. Believe it or not, we're in the end times. And without God, we're nothing. Without Jesus Christ, He gave our life. I mean, He gave His Son to us. What else do you guys want? It's a beautiful thing. You give your son up. You give your loved one up. See how much that hurts. It's the same pain He went through, but He did it for the betterment for us. Now that's love. So show your companion love. Show the people that are around you love. Yes, you might get frustrated with them. Yes, you might get angry, but at the end there's love. And that's all we need to have is love. That's all I need to say. And love one another like there's no tomorrow, because we don't know what's tomorrow. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. We could be talking about tomorrow and might not never come. Trumpets might sound, He might come. And I can't wait for that day. I cannot wait for that day. I can't wait to see His face. But until then, I got to live His fight, and I got to keep doing what He taught us to do.
And pay it back.
Pay it forward. Always pay it forward, no matter what. Whether it's a young student learning from the adult or the adult trying to teach an older person, pay it forward. El Paso, I love you. I'm glad to come home. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to be tomorrow. It's probably going to be crazy and hectic like it's always been. I promise I'll try not to be the bad guy, but I can't promise that because it's just naturally me. But I thank you guys for all your support. And Vero, thank you. I love you. You're like a little sister to me. It's been a pleasure coming here, taking the time to share my story. And I really hope that this just helps your page. Subscribe to La Revire, because if you don't, I'm going to come fuck you up. This is the way it is. You know, I gotta get my sisters back here.
And actually, this one's going up live, guys. This is going up tonight. This is going up differently than before. We always try to alter a little bit, and this time it's just gonna go up there. So, when I heard about you, when I saw we high school packed in one of your luchas,
yeah, I know.
I was like, wow, you know, you had so many that are still here that you're gonna share a ring with tomorrow. Yeah. And it's nice to see this, you know, it's nice to see this because I heard, you know, en la buito se sabe, somos bien chismosos.
Yeah.
And you know, and I heard
we're all women
you know, and it was high school and we know, you know, I heard you were in jail. Obviously, you know, we heard this and we heard that and you did this and it's sad sometimes when we judge not knowing the other story, you know. we like to hear and we say, sí esto, you know. But when I knew you were out there and that you were gonna start wrestling, and I'm gonna tell you this is something that Skybird can tomorrow, if you're there with him, ask him, because I told him he's back, and you know, just watch it because he's gonna put the name out there, because I remember you know, I remember that you always had that stubbornness, and yes, you had it from Coach Quesada and Coach Reveles, you know, those were people that were always with us, you know, and dándonos jalones de orejas, and there's nothing wrong with it, guys. There's nothing wrong with it, parents. There's nothing wrong with un jalón de orejas every once in a while. Don't go and file a lawsuit. No pasa nada. Al contrario.
Fuck your kid up. Just fuck your kid up. Bottom line.
You know, it builds strong characters like us, trying to make a difference. One thing that I do want to say, Sal, everybody knows, or a couple of you guys know, JV was gonna go ahead and bring you back in March.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first comments. La página de JV had been inactive for a while. And that was the first comment that came to me yesterday. They're like, how does it feel that another empresa is bringing down what you promised to El Paso? I'm going to tell you guys, it's adrenalina. We're El Paso. I have nothing against Ciel. I have nothing against those other empresas. It's not about egos. It's not about, I have to bring him because I have to be the first one. It's not about that. It's about making El Paso. And it's about having everybody turn down and say, that little ghetto place en la orilla del mapa de Texas has a lot of fucking talent. We do, guys, we do. We don't have exposure. To those of you with egos, put it aside a little bit.
I'll tell you something.
Because this man here,
yeah,
nothing. The ego goes here. And this is the way to make it, guys. It might take a couple of years, but you're going to get there.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to get there.
And all you promotions that are pushing each other down, y'all need to stop that shit for real. We're here to help each other out. Don't run on the same fucking day, stupid. Run it on different days. You got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maximize on your population, maximize on your crowd. Give the fans what they want. Don't give them the same shit over and over again. Blue Demon, Magno, they've seen it a million times. Give a newcomer a shot. Because you never know if that kid's going to wow your fucking crowd.
Exactly.
Give them a shot. And I guarantee you'll be surprised.
I thank you, Sal. I thank you for being down here. Thank you for bringing, talking to Thunder Rose, bringing her down here. Thank you for taking Uciel. Thank you for taking Amazona, which hopefully we'll see her, growing and growing and growing. And putting
watch
El Paso,
out for her. She's going to knock
El Paso, Ciudad Juárez out there, and hopefully we will be there tomorrow, God willing, ahí apoyando. If we're not there, ya sabes que desde acá estamos.
We're good.
Pero August 12th, more than likely, we're going to take a road trip. And we try
It'll be fun.
We try to be wherever we can.
You guys, if you guys need a place to stay, me and my wife will open our doors for you. You guys stay at our apartment without having to get a hotel. It'll be like having family over, so it's all good.
Thank you, Sal. And tomorrow I wish you the best of luck. I know you're gonna go there. I know you're gonna kick some ass. Guys, expect a great show because it's gonna be awesome. And it's glad to see you here, Sal. It's glad to bring you back. It's glad that you drive around Buy and you say, híjole. And don't forget, they're watching over you and they're taking care of you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sal.
Thank you. God bless you guys. You guys stay up.
El Revire. Stay in touch, guys. Muchas sorpresas más, se los prometí.